So with the Sun Bowl, what is kind of the payout for each participant or participating conference?
You asked me too fast. I don't have my Sun Bowl notes in front of us. Bill can get that to you.
Thank you. And then do you just kind of have like how the revenue and expenses work? Is it like pooled together? Are there exceptions?
We're going through that process. I mean, we've been in bowl planning mode, obviously, since, I think we always have a budget line item contingent on getting to a bowl. And then on top of that, then once we knew we were bowl eligible, we started scenario planning. So really I would assume our biggest cost as always is charter flight. And then obviously we got to just think through how we get some of the additional groups there, specifically band and spirit. But we're in the process of working through our budget. Obviously the goal is always to at least break even or be revenue positive.
What is the ticket allotment for Wazoo?
I think there's a number of it was $300,000 worth of tickets that we're required to sell.
And then what's the result if you don't sell all of them?
My assumption is it would probably come out of our distribution.
Do you anticipate being able to kind of get the whole allotment of selling?
The hope is there's as I talk to bowl executives throughout the week, there is real excitement about this 2021 football team, and the expectation is there's a motivated group of Cougs that are willing that want to go celebrate this team and hopefully meet us out at a bowl game.
Thanks, Pat.
Jamie, the payout is $2.3 million.
$2.3 million. Thank you.
Yes.
Next question comes from Alex Crescenti of KXLY TV. Go ahead, Alex.
Hey, Pat. Just curious. So we're just looking at the initial, cost of flights out of Seattle and Spokane. At minimum 900 in Seattle, at least 1,000 in Spokane. Obviously, these bowls are put on, a big part for the players and whatnot, but also the fan experience here. What is your message for maybe Coug fans who are maybe a little hesitant at this point, looking at those initial costs?
Well, we understand finances are always going to be part of the decision to go support any of your teams. Relative to El Paso and the people with the Sun Bowl. The Sun Bowl has a great tradition of hospitality and how they care for our student athletes and our team, and how much it's a community-driven event. So I think I think we just have to be realistic about what flight costs are. We saw those, we looked those up too, throughout the week, and, there's nothing we can do to control that. But, I know we also have people in the Southwest part of this country that hopefully are motivated to go support the Cougs in El Paso.
And how early on were you talking to different bowl contingencies? Was it last week? Was it this week? Throughout the season?
It was more through this week. One just from a personal preference standpoint. Our league is contractually bound to a specific number of bowl games. Two, once we got through this season and once we could totally understand where we sit, what the tiebreakers were. One, we're thankful that we're bowl eligible. Two, and ecstatic that we get to go to El Paso.
Thank you, Pat.
Next question comes from Jamie Vinnick of Coug Fan. Go ahead, Jamie.
Just wanted to make sure everyone else got in questions so Bill doesn't yell at me again. Do you kind of have a rough estimate of what the traveling contingent will be down to El Paso?
Not just yet. We'll bring select families with us, specifically the coaching staff's families. So we're working on those numbers as we speak.
And is there a rough estimate how many players get to travel?
The whole team goes. Yeah.
And then what date is the planned departure for El Paso?
We're required to be there on the 26th. So we'll leave sometime on the morning of the 26th, I assume.
Thank you, Pat.
Okay, again, if you have any questions for Pat Chun, please give me or raise your hand and we will call on you. Any questions for Pat? This is going to be quick otherwise. Dale Grummert from the Lewiston Tribune. Go ahead, Dale.
Pat, what do we know about who will be able to, what coaches, is it going to be the entire 2021 coaching staff, the latter half of? are there any players that plan not to participate?
Well, I would say the expectation is, anyone who was with us in our last football game, the Apple Cup, the expectation is they're with us going forward in the bowl game. So, we understand this. I mean, there's never been more movement in the history of probably college football relative to coaching, but to my best understanding, we'll have all of our coaches that were part of our last game. And, and it's a great reward for our players for a long season. When you look at what, the bowl experience in itself really is two parts. One, from a future standpoint, we get relatively young really fast after this football season. So these 15 practices are, there's a reason why teams that typically get to bowl games always stay in bowl games, because December is a month used for player development, and then you get down to your bowl site and you get really into game planning. And my expectation is, or my assumption is, Jake will do the same thing. It's this is a very important time for player development, and then when you look forward, once we get down there, it's these guys have earned this opportunity to go enjoy a week in El Paso. This is a group that has not been there. So it's a different part of the world. It's a different part of the country we get to educate ourselves on and enjoy all the sights and sounds and scenery of El Paso. And from that respect, it's a reward for this 2021 team and coaches and staff.
Okay, so no player opt-outs that you're aware of?
None that I'm aware of.
Thank you, Pat.